Curious about the suburbs of Panama City? Well, in this series, we'll be covering several suburbs of Panama City, and we're starting with Panama Pacifico. Located under 30 minutes from Panama City, Panama Pacifico is a popular neighborhood, especially for those with families. In this video, my friend Mike Kelly and I are taking you on a driving tour where he will discuss different types of housing, gated communities, a business center, the local airport, the housing market, international schools, and more.
The whole idea of Panama Pacifico is that you're living in nature, so you kind of get that when you're here in all the greenery and open space. You know, it's ideal for families and kids. It's a nice place to live if you're retired as well.
Welcome to Panama Pacifico, Panama.
We're about to go in through the checkpoint into Panama Pacifico, which is officially the special economic zone. And this is the checkpoint here. As you can see, they're only really checking like big trucks to make sure to see what's going in and out. Panama Pacifico was established around 2007, 2008. It's a special economic zone. It's a combined residential and commercial community. So there are a lot of multinational companies here, as well as a few very nice residential communities, which we're going to look at. The first one is Woodlands. So this is the biggest gated community of Panama Pacifico. It's a sprawling community of buildings, houses, and you can't see it from the main road because it's totally covered by all the jungle here. So when you drive by, you don't realize the extent of it until you get in. And there are a lot of options for homes here. 2, 3 bedroom, condo, houses and condos. Check it. But you got a lot of different options here. So to the right, you have the smallest models. They're single family homes. They're 3 bedroom options, but they're the smallest and the most economical, like good prices for these. So lower cost option, but it's a very nice community. I mean, here in Woodlands, it probably has the best community feel. Like the neighbors are all friends, or most of them at least. Getting together. They have a lot of these central parks for the kids. So a lot of young families here, a lot of kids in the neighborhood. On any given afternoon out here, you're seeing kids are all out and about, playing and doing their thing. So it's got a really good feel. And then to the right, you just have jungle. So you really are surrounded by the jungle. I mean, it's as we go around, you'll see like around the perimeter, it's just all trees, wildlife. In Spanish, they call it naturaleza. Over here to the right are the soccer fields. So they have a soccer league here. So every day the kids are out there playing soccer games. It's the local supermarket. It's a Reba Smith Select. It's a really nice supermarket. It's a typical Reba Smith, high quality, but a little bit more expensive than other supermarkets in Panama. But you tend to get good quality goods and a lot of the brands that you'll find in the United States. This is a Novi to the right. So Novi is household goods. It's kind of like a
Home Depot.
Maybe like a Home Depot. You can find just about everything. And it's nice to have here, especially if you're building or remodeling your home. You can really find everything that you need there. The main street here, Mosaic and Soleo, where they have Entre Panes, the bakery. On the left is Power Club. So Power Club is a membership gym. It's a chain, the biggest chain, I'm pretty sure the biggest chain of gyms in Panama. They've got an Olympic-sized swimming pool. So if you live here, you get your membership there and you can go work out. It's a nice gym, great option to have. To the right is Nativa Salon. Get your nails done, haircut. This is Banismo, which is one of the bigger banks in Panama, and of course for all the pet owners that live in the area, and there are many. We have PAWS, which is a veterinarian clinic. So it's really nice to have in the area because if anything happens to your pet, you've got a vet nearby, which is key. And then, of course, American Pets, which is pet supplies. So anything that you need for your dog, cat, whatever your pet is, you can find. You have a couple different schools here. This is called Howard Academy to the left. It's the first school that was built here years ago when it was the military base. This is one of the international schools here, Liceo Francés. They just built this campus. It's huge, really nice. It's a great school. All of the kids, everything is in French, so you can enroll your kid here, even though he doesn't speak French, but he will learn French fluently because most of the curriculum is in French. They also teach in English and Spanish, so kids here are all trilingual.
Wow.
So the kids who go to the Liceo Francés speak French, English, and Spanish fluently. So here you have the little church, and then another school. And this school is called St. Mary, Colegio St. Mary. It's a very good school. The main campus is in Panama City. Over here to the right is the Renaissance Academy. It's another international school. It's impressive how many schools are here for what seems like not a very big community. There are a lot of schools, and that's also a huge plus for families that are thinking about living here. There's a school here in this area called Mahen David. It's actually a Jewish school. And then to the right is Howard Academy's new campus. So we'd gone by their original campus. It's the first school that opened in Panama Pacifico. It was the school established when it was the Air Force Base. And they built this campus here that opened a year ago. And it's a really good school. There are a couple banks here. There's Banco General and Banismo. Two of the most frequently used banks by expats when they move here. But Banco General, I mean, they're both not only expats, but Panamanians in general. Those are two of the biggest banks. So it's nice to have those here. If you live out here and you have a branch in the local branches, it's just very convenient. Again, the idea is that you never have to leave. You can stay here, not have to go back out to the city for a lot of your day-to-day needs. Straight ahead is the international airport. So the hangar that you see there, those were all the original hangars when Howard was the Air Force base for the United States military. But when the Americans left, it was converted into an international airport. And you can get flights from here to Colombia for very cheap.
Yeah, I took them.
Yeah, I think less than $200 round trip. So it's a very nice option. You don't get a whole lot of options of places to fly to out of here, but I think that's going to change eventually. And you also have a lot of goods being flown in here. So this is the main terminal to the left. So if you fly, this is where you would come in to check in and board. When you talk about pros and cons, one of the cons in general about this area is the traffic to get here from the city. There's a lot of construction and things happening that are causing, to get here from the city at the wrong time can take a long time. You can get stuck in traffic. But the good thing is that if you can find the right school here, and you can live in one of the neighborhoods, and you're here, so you don't have to worry about that. Then the traffic becomes a non-issue. And so a lot of international families are moving here because they get their kids enrolled in one of the schools and they buy a nice house in the area, and now they're set up in Panama Pacifico. And once you're set up here in that kind of situation, it's the perfect place to live.
Do you find more and more expats are moving to this area?
I do. I find a lot more interest here. It's starting to pop up on the map a lot more. So the main reason that expats don't move here, and I guess we're talking about the pros and cons of Panama Pacifico, is because it's further from the city and not as centrally located as far as like having your amenities in walking distance. If you want to live here without a car, it's a little bit harder out here because things are more spread out. So if you live here, you would need your own car. It would just, it'd be much more convenient. Whereas in, downtown Panama City, you can get away with not having a car. So that's one of the cons about Panama Pacifico. But on the other side of that, if you buy a car, to drive here is easy because it's just, there's not, you're not talking about bumper to bumper traffic that you get in the city. So driving here is easy. So if you have a car, you can get around town. Everything's close. It's super easy. So what people find when they move here is like, wow, it is actually really nice. I have everything I need and it's easy to get around. So when you leave Panama Pacifico, you go right to Veracruz. That's actually a beach, and you've got various restaurants, other commercial establishments that are in that area along the beach. And then to the left is the Westin Playa Bonita, which is a very nice building. It's a hotel and condominium, and kind of a hidden gem in Panama, I would say. There are a lot of expats that live in Casa Bonita because it's the closest actual beachfront property that you can buy in Panama City, where you're actually on a beach and you can go in the water. And it's perfect for snowbirds. Mainly Canadians that want to get out of Canada when it's cold and be here when it's warm. They'll buy there and rent it out half the year. But more and more Americans are renting and buying there, and so it's got a really nice expat community. It's a fun place to live. And it's conveniently located next to Panama Pacifico, so that you can make just a quick day trip over there and get a day pass.
Do you go to Veracruz a lot?
We do. We go to Veracruz to go to the restaurants. There's some really good restaurants right on the beach there, so it's fun. It's nice to know that the beach is so close. You forget when you live in Panama Pacifico how close the beach is. It literally takes 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes to get there, and you can sit on the beach, have good food, look out over the water. It's beautiful. It's a great benefit of living here, and you take it for granted because you get kind of wrapped up in your day to day, and you forget, hey, I can get to the beach in about 5 minutes and go have some good food. So on the left is these are the first two buildings that were built by Panama Pacifico when they started this project. This one's Mosaic, and then the one behind it is called Soleo. Mosaic has 1 2-bedroom units, and below here you can see there's an Arocha pharmacy. Arocha is the biggest pharmacy chain in Panama, kind of like a Walgreens in the U.S. It's got everything that you really need. You can find all kinds of stuff in there, so it's nice to have that here. And this building straight ahead, this is Soleo, so this is another condominium where you can get, the units there are a little bit bigger. In Mosaic, they have a community pool. In Soleo, they don't. They have more of an open area, which kind of like for meditation and yoga and things like that. On the corner, there's Entre Panes, which is like a bakery. They've got, empanadas and, different things to eat and drink. There's a barber shop here to the left and a pizza place on the corner.
Have you had their pizza?
Yeah, the pizza place is called San Marco. It's actually really good pizza. Thin crust. Just had it the other night. Pretty tasty. Good quality pizza. They also have like good beer. They have Italian beer. So it's a nice place to go eat. It's nice to have that in the community. Kind of an area like that where you can go and get your bread and your empanadas or pizza, drink some beer if that's what you want to do. It's just part of having a community is to have that kind of variety of different places to go eat and drink. And Panama Pacifico is getting better about that since more people are moving here.
Do you know an example rental or purchase price for one of the condos in that area?
Yeah, so you can get a 2-bedroom condo for around $1,000 to $1,200 a month in Soleo or Mosaic. For a 1-bedroom, maybe around between $800 and $1,000 for a 1-bedroom in some cases that I've seen. The values are going up a little bit, so it's hard to nail down certainly, but that's what I've purchased. You can get around $200,000 to $300,000. Panama Pacifico is commercial and residential development, and a lot of multinational companies are here, such as 3M, Caterpillar, Quest Software. What they do is they set up their international headquarters here. A lot of them have like call centers, or maybe they're like corporate headquarters for Latin America. So this is the main business park here, and it's got a look kind of like a typical business park that you would find in California, Florida. Mm-hmm. Got the same kind of vibe. They got their inspiration from a development called Fashion Island in California. They actually went over there and kind of studied it, and then came back here and modeled it after that. The first building is a red one. It's straight across. The 2 red ones, those are the first ones that they built, and then they built the other ones around them. Within this business park, you have a few amenities which are very important if you are considering living here, or if you live here. There's a Subway sandwiches, there's a clinic, a health clinic, and pharmacy. So the idea is that Panama Pacifico is a totally self-contained community where you have everything that you need and you don't actually have to go outside to the city. And so, that would include a clinic and a supermarket, everything, and of course, mailboxes, etc. to the right. If you want to have mail or anything sent here, you're going to need a mail forwarding service such as mailbox, etc. It's not the only one, but it's the most common. And in most areas of the city, they have locations so that wherever you live, you go to the nearest one and set up your account. So within this park, you have a lot of amenities. If you live here, you're going to be coming by, whether or not you're working in the park, you might come here. There's a Boquete brew stop to the right. So there is the Boquete brew stop. Really good craft beer brewed in Boquete. Nacion Sushi to the right. Asador. Asador is typical Panamanian food. It's very good. Rice, beans, meat, plátanos. This is another business park. This one's a little bit different though because they're mainly big warehouses. So you got a lot of big manufacturers and distributors that have their headquarters here where they're either producing goods or consolidating because you've got the canal so close. And so they'll have goods brought in here and then they'll consolidate and then ship out through Panama or outside of Panama. But because of the tax breaks, the tax incentives for setting up your operations here, it makes a lot of sense. And that's why a lot of these companies have set up their warehouses here. This community here that we're coming up to is called River Valley. So this was they started building these in around 2010, and they're homes, single-family homes, and condos. A little bit bigger than Woodlands. So where Woodlands has the smallest options and the most economical, River Valley is considered kind of a step up as far as size and price. So the homes here are going to be a little bit more expensive. They're also bigger than the homes in Woodlands. And that goes for the condos as well. So the condos are they're more spacious. There's a river that runs through this community to the right. And usually there's a lot of water in it. We've had a rain shortage this year, so it's been a little low. But it's nice. You got all these walkways. This is a very family-oriented community. So a lot of young families live here. And so you have a lot of kids. So for young families with kids, this is a perfect neighborhood. It's safe for one. You got a lot of you have good security, and there are a lot so the kids can go and just kind of run around, and you get on their bike, go out and ride, or go out and play, and you don't have to worry too much. It's just a very safe area. So on the right, you can see the options of the homes. So there are 4 models in total, and they're kind of that typical cookie cutter, similar to a lot of gated communities in the United States, California in particular. I've seen many communities they look very similar to this. They have smaller yards, so the yard is kind of like what's the space between each house. So when they built this area, they were really trying to maximize the number of homes that they could build. So you don't necessarily have a big backyard, but you do have all of the shared space. And that was kind of the concept here. It's like, okay, we're going to minimize the individual outside space, but the shared space that everyone gets to use is what makes it worth it. So these homes here kind of have the jungle in front of them. So this jungle here is where I used to see a lot of like howler monkeys and sloths and different things, different kind of wildlife. It's typical in Panama. But this concept here is like a pathway that goes through, so the houses look at each other. One of the advantages of this is that there's no main street in front of your house, so you can go out. A lot of times for the kids, it's nice because you're not like running out in the street.
Yeah.
This is the clubhouse. So you got the swimming pool and social area, the barbecue. So a lot of people have like family get-togethers, or neighbors will get together just for afternoon barbecue. And here in Panama, on Saturday and Sunday, really common to barbecue and just get everyone together, play your music. Sometimes very loud, and enjoy life. Here are the condo buildings. So these are 3 to 4 bedroom. You can get a condo here, nice 3-bedroom for around $325. The homes that we just saw. So a 3-bedroom right now they're hovering around $400,000. A 4-bedroom could be up around $425 or so is what I'm seeing them on the market at. Not everyone wants to move here and be in the middle of downtown Panama City. Some people want to get out of there. They feel like they're not in the city, but can get there. Whether it's to go to a hospital, there are a lot of reasons to be here in Panama City. You want to be close in case you need medical attention. You got the best hospitals. But there are good options in Panama for like suburban residential communities. These areas like Panama Pacifico, they're on the outskirts of the city that most people don't really know about. There's still like, most people still aren't aware that these neighborhoods even exist. And you get here and you're like, wow, this is Panama. Sure. I mean, when you think, a lot of people think of Panama and they just think of skyscrapers, traffic, and big city. This neighborhood is called Nativa. This was the first residential community that was built here. And so they built this, really to promote the project and gain attention. These are the biggest homes, the biggest single-family homes in Panama Pacifico. They're also the most expensive. They're in the $700,000 and $800,000 range for the bigger 3 or 4 bedroom. I've seen some as high as $1 million on the market. So they're not the least expensive option to buy a home here, but they are nice. They're a little bit more of like a modern design. Unlike River Valley, that are more kind of like a traditional house. These have that kind of modern look. But they're really nice. And the neighborhood itself is, it's a gated, again, another gated community. So you have really good security and, spacious homes with space. A little bit more space than the homes in River Valley, but still not huge backyards. It's not like you've got, these big yards or anything like that, but you got enough space where you're comfortable. You can see this gives you a good idea of the homes on the left. And these aren't the biggest homes, and these are single family homes. They're not the biggest ones in Nativa, but they give you a good idea of kind of the design. And from here, you really get a kind of understanding, like the view. So if you're up here, the houses are kind of terraced, and there's a really big, nice mountain in front of us that has hiking trails. It's beautiful. So you get that view of that mountain, especially later in the evening during sunset. It's really nice views from here. So Nativa's nice because it's a little bit more. What I've heard about Nativa is that is compared to Woodlands and River Valley that have a very strong community. Most people that live in Nativa kind of stick to themselves, so you don't have, from what I understand, for people that live here, not as much like neighborly interaction. It's more people that are, more privacy, people keeping themselves. You also have a bigger, higher international, multinational, a lot of executives that work in some of the companies here will live here. Actually, the companies pay for the rent and everything. So you've got a lot of high up executives of these multinational companies that are renting these homes. So a little bit different demographic than Woodlands in River Valley, where you have more Panamanians and also a lot of expats, but a smaller percentage of national Panamanians.